Hey guys, and welcome to today's craft video and how I made these hurricane jar displays. I've been seeing hurricane jars everywhere recently, so I believe they're in now, and I thought I'd give them a go by using some recycled old glasses. So let's get into today's video. So what I'm using is, to start off with, you'll need some braids or embellishments. I get mine from Poundland. They're £1 a pack. I only used these on the middle glass in the end. I was going to put them on all three, but I just put them on in the middle. And then I'm using a frame that I've spray painted, and these are from Poundland. They don't come with glass in them already, so they're really easy to use for trays. And yeah, I've already spray painted it black because I was going to use it for another craft. And then I've got some glasses that are like a tumbler shape, and I picked these up in a charity shop. I got 4 for £2.50, and I'm going to use 3 of them. And then I'm using some small like stones from B&M's. These were £1.49, and I picked them up in white. Also, obviously, you can use them in any colour that you want. And then I'm using some silver spray paint. This is from Poundland, and I ended up using just over a tin and a bit for my glasses. And then I'm just using some battery powered candle tea lights as well that I picked up from Wilkinson's, and they were 15p because they were on sale. And then you'll need some masking tape and a marker, and then you'll also need some cardboard. I used an old cardboard box and some A4 white card. You'll need a glue gun, a pair of scissors, a ruler, and a pair of tweezers as well. So to start off with, I'm going to mark where I want to spray paint my glasses, and I'm just going to put one in the frame just to see whereabouts I wanted it to end the paint. And I ended up doing 7 centimeters from the bottom of the glass to the side. So all I'm going to do now is measure 7 centimeters and then mark with a marker. And you won't be able to see these marks once everything's done, so it doesn't matter about marking the glass. But yeah, I measured 7 centimeters and then put a small mark, and then I worked my way around the glass and left a few inches, and then marked 7 centimeters again. And I'm going to do that all the way around, and I'm going to do it on all 3 glasses, and I'll be back when that's done. So I've marked all the way around the glasses, as you can see, and this is where I'm going to put my masking tape. So I'm going to spray paint the bottom of the glass and leave the top of the glass plain. So I need to cover the whole of the top of the glass with masking tape. So I just took small sections, and it was a lot easier to do when the glass was balanced on my knee than on the table. And I'm just going to make sure I completely cover the glass and make sure that I overlay the masking tape so that none of the paint can get in between the bits of masking tape. So I completely covered the top. I'm going to do that with all 3. And here they are, all completely covered around the top and ready to be spray painted. So I'm going to use the silver spray paint that I picked up from Poundland. Like I said, I used just over a tin, and I'm just going to do 2 coats. I did 1 coat, a really thick coat, and used a full can on the 3 glasses, and then I let that dry, and then I did a lighter coat over them with another tin. So depending on how dark you want your silver spray paint to be will determine how many tins you need. But I'm going to do that and let them dry. So the glasses are drying and now I'm going to start working on the base. So what I want to do is I want to measure on a piece of old cardboard, and this is just a cardboard box. I'm going to measure the inside of the frame and I'm going to cut two pieces out of the same size, and this is so I can glue them together and glue them in the bottom of the frame. It's just to stop us using so many stones. There's no point using more stones than needs to be in the base, so it just means that instead of using more than one pack of stones, we just need to use one. So I've measured the inside and I'm going to mark that out on a piece of cardboard and cut two of them out just using a pair of scissors. So I'm going to glue these together now with glue gun, and then I'm going to paint them white, and this is because just to hide the colour of the cardboard underneath, and it will blend in with the stones. Depending on what stones you're using, you can paint them the same colour. So if you're using blue stones, paint it blue. If you're using black stones, paint it black. And yeah, like I said, it's just to save using more stones than needed. So I'm just going to use acrylic white paint, do one coat and let it dry. And then we can get on to the next step. So now that's drying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the base for the candle to sit on. And again, this is to make sure that we don't use all the stones. It just fills the glass up with cardboard. So all I'm going to do is take the spare glass that I've got. You can do this with the glasses you've spray painted, but while they're drying, I'm just going to use this one. And I'm just going to draw 3 circles by drawing around the top of the glass. And then I'm going to cut these out, but I'm going to cut them out smaller than the line that we've actually drew. So probably about 1/2 centimetre smaller, so that they'll fit in the glass. And once I've cut them out, I'm going to paint them white, again, to hide them underneath the stones once we put the stones in. So I'm just going to use a pair of scissors, cut out the circles about 1/2 centimetre in from the line that we've drawn, so that they'll fit in the glass, and I'll be back. So I'm just going to stick this in now while the circles are drying white, and I'm just using some hot glue, just putting it all over the base of the card, and then I'm going to pop this in the frame. And then just press down into place. So it's not flush with the side of the frame. There's still space to put stones, but it means that I'm not using so many. So the circles are dry, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some card around them to make little tubes. And I actually had to change these in the end. At first I measured 7 centimetres, which was the height of the spray paint that we did, and they wouldn't fit in the glass the way that I wanted them to because the glass was thinner at the bottom. So I measured a piece of card, 2 pieces of card, 7 centimetres, and glued them together. And then I'm just going to glue them around the base of the white circles that we've done. And in the end, I actually cut them down to 3.5 centimetres. So instead of measuring 7 centimetres, I should have just measured 3.5 centimetres. But once I cut them down, they fitted, and I'll show you, you'll see what I mean in a bit anyway. So these are the 3 stands for the candles, and these are at 7 centimetres before I cut them. And then the next step that I did was I took off all the masking tape. Now I would have done this while it was wet, just to make sure that it didn't pull any of the paint off the edge, but because I'm going to be gluing stuff around them, it didn't really matter, so I just took them off once they were dry. And now I'm getting ready to get the stuff to decorate. So I'm going to use some of the braids. I decided to only put them on the one in the middle in the end. I was going to put them on all 3, but in the end I just put them in the middle one. And all I'm going to do is use some wire cutters to cut off the metal strips at the back and then just bend whatever's left over into the center. And I've done this before on a few of my crafts. If you've seen any of my videos before, I normally always take the back of these off just to make them easier to glue onto things. So I've taken the back off some of them, and now I'm going to get on to the next step. And I decided to use some pearl garland in the end. I wasn't going to use any of this, but I ended up pulling it out and decided that this is what I was going to put around the top of the paint that we've painted. So all I'm going to do is decide where the back is, add a little bit of glue on the line of the paint, and then pop in the pearls in place. And then I'm just going to miss every other one and add some glue and stick that all the way around, and I'm going to do that on all 3 glasses. And now I've decided to cut the card down to 3.5 centimeters so that it was flushed with the top of the paint, and I'm going to add the stones in so I can see where I want to add my pearl embellishments. I wasn't too sure if I was going to add them above the pearls or below the pearls, so in the end I decided to go below the pearls. So I was just adding a few stones at a time until they were covered. Well, the base that we've just added into the glass is covered, and it's just showing above the line of the pearls. So I've put the stones in all 3 glasses, and now I'm going to add some of the embellishments. So like I said, I wasn't too sure if I was going to put them above or below, but I decided to put them below. And I'm just going to use a pair of tweezers to do this because they get really hot because of the metal. So I'm just going to add a decent amount of glue to the back of them. Then use the tweezers to pick them up and put the first one in place. And I left about an inch, about half an inch, between half an inch and an inch gap in between each one, and I glued them all the way around the center candle holder. So once I'd finished doing that, I decided I was going to add some more of the pearls around the top of the glasses just to finish them off, and I decided to do it on all 3. So again, just like we did with the pearl around the middle above the paint line, I'm going to now do the same around the top, just by adding a small amount of glue to start off, and then missing a pearl and then using a bit more glue, and then missing a pearl and using a bit more glue until I've gone all the way around. And then the last thing to do is to pop the battery powered candles and add the stones to the base. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you what the finished piece looks like. So here we are. This is what it looks like finished. I'm glad that I didn't put the pearl embellishments on all 3, and I really like the pearls around the outside, and the stones finish it off quite nice. So yeah, quick and easy way of doing a candle display using some recycled glasses, and I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. I will see you on Friday for my boat for my lighthouse. Take care for now. Bye.